Hi everyone, welcome to Mermaid Radio. You are listening to this week's Universal Energy reading using the 16 Cowrie and the Veve prophecy cards. I am Mami Olufunke. This reading is in effect from today, Monday, January 10th through Sunday, January 16th, 2022. Let's get started. The universal energy reading for the planet this week sees 8 Cowrie on the mat and Azaka Eshu in the Veve prophecy cards. Here, Earth Mother is still feeling strong and vital. She is feeling cool and humble. But because we have stepped back on our promise to ensure the safety of this world and the grace and goodness of this planet by overly manufacturing goods and services using machinery that puts out more products than the people can use, and then has to toss a lot of stuff into garbage landfills, the oceans, the rivers. And so Earth Mother is not happy with us. But for this week, she should be calm. She should be cool. She shouldn't be acting up. She's still hoping that we will come to terms with our agreement and recycle, repurpose, reuse, only manufacture what we need to make enough to take care of our family, at least within a couple of couple of generations, but not enough to take care of our family for 50 or 100 generations, unless every person on the planet can make enough to keep their family sustained for 50 or 100 generations without damaging this world. Ashe. The universal energy reading for the people this week sees 9 Cowrie on the mat, Ezilio Shun Eshu, and the Veve prophecy cards. 9 Cowries says that we will be aggressive about going for what it is that we feel is good for us, because we do expect a good outcome from our work, from our dreams and visions and goals. We do expect a good outcome, but we have to remember that other people are watching us, and although we want to do our best and get things done and make sure everything is working, we have to realize that other people might not have that level of energy, other people might not have that level of confidence, and they're watching those of us who do with jealous eyes. So, and they're willing to slander you, talk bad about you behind your back, if not work negative magic against you. So, this week we need to remain humble. We can show ourselves as strong and vital, but try not to knock people down while you're trying to get where you have to go. Ashe. The universal energy reading for love this week sees 5 Cowrie on the mat and Izan Agbaorun in the Veve prophecy card. Here in love, 5 Cowrie says, yes, we should be beautifying and making sure that we maintain the level of attractiveness that we started out our relationships with. If not, we could be mourning and find ourselves grieving over the loss of a loved one, and not that they passed on and left this world, but they just have left our world, and they are moving on to another world, taking care of themselves, taking care of others. People will need you to stay beautiful, stay active, and stay use your imagination and use your ability to charm your love, so they don't get bored and turn their back on you. Ashe. The universal energy reading for money this week sees 4 Cowrie on the mat and Ezilio Eshu again in the Veve prophecy cards. Here we expect to make money, we expect to see profit. We're working hard and we're putting ourselves into what it is we do. We have to be careful that we kind of stay in our lane, because other people will want to eat from the fruits of our labor. Other people will try to expect a profit and a return on our labor, especially if we don't mind our business, stay to what it is we want to get done. Ashe. The universal energy reading for career sees 5 Cowrie on the mat. Izan Agbao Rune again in the Veve prophecy cards. Career, 5 Cowrie says we have to beautify, and not only ourselves, our office, we have to beautify our presentations to our team members and so-called superiors and bosses. We have to really make sure that we're up on how things appear. It would be nice to have the information be sound and correct and all of that, but if you come in and you don't look the part, no matter what you're saying, people aren't going to see it, especially if they hired you because you're good looking. You have to be professional and wear the proper gear at all times. Even on Dress Down Friday, at this time, you want to still wear your professional clothes. Maybe you just take off your tie. Maybe you put on an ostentatious necklace, but you do not change the fact that you're wearing professional attire. And because people won't be able to hear you, and you will find yourself sad and grieving about not being seen, not being understood, not being appreciated at work. Also, so when I was thinking when I did the reading that no matter if they're Balenciaga sneakers, you do not put them on your feet in a place where you're not supposed to have sneakers on. It really doesn't matter how much you've paid for them or what brand name is on the side. Wear your shoes and other proper attire for your career workplace. Ashe. The universal energy reading for health and well-being this week sees 9 Cowrie on the mat and Azaka Obatala in the Veve prophecy cards. So here, 9 Cowrie talks again about being aggressive, about taking care of ourselves and looking after our well-being and health and happiness. Be careful how you speak to your health professional. Do not be too aggressive and too pushy. Let people feel that you did come for advice and you do feel that what they're saying is important. What you're going to do about it when you get home, that's another thing. But when you're at the doctor's office, try to be humble and cool. So that the doctor won't want to leave you or tell you to go to another physician or somehow cut you off from the good of what their service. You don't want them to cut you off from the good of their service. So you have to really chill. And also, you might be a lot more healthy than you think you are. And although you're going to see a doctor, you have to remember that that doctor is a person. And anything that can happen to anybody can happen to everybody. So that if you're standing there and you have a little headache, or you know, maybe your blood pressure's up just a little, you don't know what that person is going through with their own health. And they may get jealous. Nine calories for me sees jealousy, sees people have a reason to work negative magic against you. And we don't want doctors working negative magic against us. We want them to feel, I don't know, like their authority is appreciated. Ashe. The universal energy reading for spiritual development this week sees 5 Cowrie on the mat and a Lodumare, Ling Lasso, and the Veve prophecy cards. So we will be gathering with our spiritual groups, and we do need to be beautiful. We do need to be gracious and willing to participate in singing and dancing activities. But we have to be careful of going overboard. Too much joy, too much showing off at the expense of what another person might want to present, especially the shyer people in the group. Some people are shy. Some people don't want to just jump out front, and you have to encourage them. You like to dance, and you are willing to dance, and you're willing to sing. Other people need to dance and sing too, and they want to. But they might not if they feel overpowered or overlooked or insignificant. So we have to really try not to be indifferent to our group members, and carry on in spite of what could turn into pain for them. Ashe. The reading this week was very unusual for me. It has a Veve prophecy readings. 2 of them came out the same twice. Azaka Eshu came out. No, not Azaka Eshu. Ezilio Shun Eshu came out twice, and Aizan Akbar Rune came out twice. And I thought that was quite, because that talks about being sad, being depressed, about some kind of loss. So we have to really be careful with people and in our teams and at work, and in love. So we don't want to suffer loss in love, and we don't want to suffer loss at work. So we have to really pay attention. We have to stay beautiful, and we have to stay appropriate in those areas. Oshun is really busy with us this week. I wanted to really mention about the New Year reading. It is, I'm going by the Cuban letter this year. And the Cuban letter speaks about Obatala, speaks about Oshun, Orunmila, and these deities need to be attended to most this year. Obatala especially. That's why I brought Obatala forward behind me here with the white beads. That's Obatala, and he needs to be attended to. It's a year for coolness. It's a year for humility. It's a year to be sober. And not just sober where you're not getting drunk by drinking alcoholic beverages. No, we should not, as much as we can. And we should not be too happy, and we should not be too sad. Because either way puts us in danger of giving out too much information, about stepping on toes, you know, either way, too happy or too sad, makes you vulnerable in a way where you wouldn't want to be. It's not a good year to tell people too much about what you're working on. And it says that if you should be drinking alcohol, it's not a good time to talk to people, because then you might be spilling all of your gems and pearls on the floor before people who can take advantage of them. This is where people want to eat from the fruits of your labor, you know, for cowries. You're expecting to make money, but if you give away your gems, you might have someone else make that money. So we have to be very careful this year and try to stay calm and cool and collected on all occasions. And if you can look up the Cuban letter for 2022 and read more about it online, it has quite a bit of information that can help. It's a good year for spiritual development. It's a good year to study Obatala and prayer and the ritual of taking care of Obatala. And it's a very good year to study Ifa and the Odu, or a lesser form of Ifa, like 4 cowries, 16 cowrie if you're initiated. And there are, or the tarot, whichever oracle you decide to align yourself with, it's a good year to study and get more familiar with that. This has been Mami Olufunke's Universal Energy Reading. I thank you for joining me this week. I thank all my subscribers. If you like this information and find it useful, if you're not already, please like, subscribe, and add notifications to know when the next video is available. Have a great week, everyone. Odabo.